in the chat. Chris C in there as well. And also, Tim Barnes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Straight off the bat. Thank you very much, Tim, for that. Evening, Graham. Drove past Glasgow on the way to North Devon on Saturday. So that's pretty cool. So thanks very much for that. Tim, yeah, I was at Glastonbury this weekend. Managed to get the set list for Ash set list. I also got the set list for Wolf Alice, which is a bit more difficult. It's a big stage.
So is that theft?
No, I asked for it. I also got this one as well. Someone can tell me the artist. I actually do know this, but if anyone can look at that and give me the name of the artist that sung those songs, I'll be very impressed. So we've just been playing Where's Wally on the TV here with the girls. We've been trying to spot me and Catherine. So yeah, how's the weekend been in America? Anything happen?
It's hot.
Is it hot? It's hot here as well.
It's very hot.
To be fair, I was always tempted to take this off.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We got free uses out of it.
No one told me in the chat. Everyone's like, Graham, you got your top on inside out, you idiot.
They never say anything. They're so mean to us. They gotta help us.
Hello, everyone. Just melting here today, says SG. That's not good. You don't want to melt. Hi, Chris C. It's too warm. Haven't done anything since mid-morning apart from lie on the sofa in front of the fan. Chris, I've got up, packed all the stuff up, packed up the tent, walked for 20 minutes with a trolley with all that stuff in it, camping equipment, filled up the car, drove from Somerset to Durham, then had to pick up the girls from school, and then make dinner. I still haven't tidied up from dinner. Lots of things to do. Anyway, come on, Mikey. We've got to talk about the US. All the shit's gone down. So what do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about the big bastard bill?
Hey.
You want to talk about the shooting, the fucking crazy killer with the fucking calling out the firefighters, or do you want to talk about what happened at the Supreme Court on Friday? What would you like to go with first?
I mean, we don't have to like gulp our food down. I mean, it's a lot of grief to take all at once here. So let's I mean, we don't know a ton about this shooter up in Idaho, except for now. This might be conjecture, but you watch all of the different news channels, the local news channels and stuff like that, and sometimes cops give different answers if you ask them the same question over and over again. So it seems like sometimes they answered in a way that would appear to explain that he set the fires to bait them out there.
Yeah, and then he could be a sniper to shoot the firefighters coming to this fire in Idaho, which is just, I mean, is this peak Trump? Is this peak Trump's America? Calling out the firefighters and then shooting at them for a fire that you started. Not you personally, I mean, Trump voters.
I mean, listeners with a good memory will remember I said that the white nationalists are trying to like take over. What's up, babe? Trying to take over that little corridor of America up there in that Idaho, Utah, Northern Rockies kind of area.
Yeah.
And they set up their little compounds. There you go. Get out of here, cat. And Dexter. I don't know. I called you a cat. Just roll with the joke. You're my wife. You're supposed to laugh. Ah, thank you. She's belly laughing in pantomime. She's so sweet to me. But these dudes out there are not rep so good. And the thing is, right before Trump got in, and even while Trump was in, it's almost like the DOJ said the biggest threat to Americans was white nationalists. Now, where are all the white nationalists at? Oh, it's almost like they're headquartered in fucking Idaho, next to the fucking Canadian border. Like, this is what I told y'all that these motherfuckers up there were dangerous, but no one ever looks into them. Kash Patel, look into them, please, now. Yeah. They're all in the same fucking Twitter feed.
Kash Patel's going to do anything about it. I mean, you know, he's down there with them, although they will kill him given half the chance.
That's what I'm saying. They're not going to fucking spare Kash Patel just because he gave them more rocket launchers or something like that. There's no loyalty for them.
I lost my mouse. I was just looking there for my mouse. I was like, I got it. Mark, thank you very much in the chat. Graham, saw your work as fuck flag at the Wolf Alice set. Great job. Thanks very much for that, Mark. Yeah, that was a fantastic set. And I managed to get, this is Ellie's set list. So this is the lead singer's set list. from the middle of the stage. That was pretty cool. Didn't get a pulp set list, unfortunately. I was down at the front saying, "Be a hero! You could be a hero. You could give us a set list." And then I just watched the set, and you can see there's about 17 set lists on the stage. If you're watching it from on the BBC footage. Oh, Mikey's just gone. Mikey's like, "Fuck this! I don't give a shit about Glastonbury. Go
You're
away."
talking about a concert. Let me get my hat. Don't draw attention to me. Jesus.
You get your hat. You know you're still on camera.
Okay, just tell your story. Jesus.
Yeah. Hello everyone. It says SG. Melting is here. Hope everyone is well and hydrated and keeping cool as best they can. Yeah. I just realized I came to that because I had to set everything. This is the camera that I had at Glastonbury with me, and I've obviously like got to sort my shit. Like put everything back in place, yeah, just about did it for 9 o'clock. So yeah, I didn't bring any water. I don't have any water. I'm gonna have to.
Are you gonna have to step away and go grab something to drink?
No, I have a glamorous assistant who might, if I'm very nice to her, she might actually bring me a cup of water.
This just in, Dark Lord Greg, $5 American from Blue Sky. I tried to climb the fence at Glastonbury, but security stopped me and dragged me back to listen to Rod Stewart.
Nice. Very good.
Let me out.
Yeah, Rod Stewart went down like a cold cup of sec. He was crap. He was bloody awful. And he's a big Brexiteer. Well, no, he likes refuck. And apparently an interview from 1970 in which he praises Enoch Powell has come to light. Don't know if it's AI. Don't know if it's real. Who knows what's real anymore? I don't know. Chris C says, "My God, how sick does one need to be in the head to start a fire just to lure firefighters into a trap to take them out?" Yeah. This is Trump's America. This is the America that the conservatives want.
This is
where everyone's afraid.
This is the one that they think that they're going to just, calmly navigate as this, upper crust class. Like, are you kidding? Didn't JD Vance just went skiing in the mountains?
Yeah.
You guys are going to be in your little compounds with your 7 million TVs all over the place to look like the great outdoors. But if you destabilize America in some effort to push in a soft coup, you are not going to have the same lifestyle. Like they don't understand that they are destroying their own lifestyle whilst trying to punish others for existing. Like, you're not going to hurt them. You can't hurt them. And that's what pisses them off. So like, I will hurt them. You can't. There's too many people here. You can't hurt one person without hurting yourself. We're all connected.
They want to make people feel, this is what I've seen a lot, that they want to make people feel terrified to go to work. This is the big thing, isn't it? Yeah. They just want them to get, like, whether you're a firefighter or whether you're a migrant working in the field, or whether, you want to go out and protest for your rights. They want an America that is uniquely afraid, an America that is unsure of itself and its place in the world, and it's just sort of thrashing out like a petulant child. And it's so sad to see. It's so fucking sad to see. And it's all the brainchild of a handful of absolutely fucking deranged and inbred billionaires.
Inbred, opportune where there's inbred. Like and for them to all be each other's brother, uncle, cousins, they don't have anything going for them. They just have like these legacy entrapment kind of. They don't invent a new engine or transform the world of e-commerce. Like, they don't do these things. They just buy other people's things and then take all the money because of a monopoly that is not broken up because they have lobbyists. Like, they're not actually good at anything. And if you don't have any actual talent except for stealing, okay, let's say you're the banker in Monopoly and you steal all the money. Let's say everybody catches you stealing all the money and you keep doing it anyway. Okay, so then what happens to the game? The game is over.
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't agree more. And it is just, I think you've hit the nail on the head there, because it's the incompetence that seems to fuck me off more than anything else. It's like, But you know the way in Forrest Gump he keeps landing on his feet even though he's a fucking idiot. This is like this is Forrest Gump. It's like evil Forrest Gump. What if Forrest Gump was evil? It would be Trump. It would absolutely be Trump, and he'd be sitting there going, "I met JFK, and I landed on the moon, and I ran from one coast to the other," and bragging about all this stuff that he didn't really do.
I saw
bone spurs.
I saw Forrest Gump land the Apollo 13 craft. So how dare you?
Yeah, I know.
Same movie.
And he was responsible for the miracle on the Hudson as well. It's fucking amazing shit that guy's done.
When there's an apocalypse, Graham, which is on its way, and then the only way we can watch films from the past will be like through some curated thing that somebody's made, like Be Kind Rewind. So I'm gonna put in Apollo 13 as one of Forrest Gump's like little side quests that he goes through on his quest to go find Jenny. And Jenny's gonna kiss the moon with her or wink at the moon with her thumb and do the thing. It's gonna be great.
That's actually reminded me of something. Have you seen 28 Years Later, the
zombie one,
zombie film?
Mm-mm.
Are you gonna go and see, or is not really your bag?
Isn't that a game movie?
No. Thank you. It's based on
Pretty sure
28 Days Later. It was a movie directed by Danny Boyle, written by Alex Garland, who went on to do Ex Machina and Civil War.
I like Ex Machina.
Not the MCU Civil War, but the movie Civil War. They're both movies. What am I talking about? They're just the one about with the girl from Interview with the Vampire, whose name has just currently escaped me for some reason.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
No, not Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oprah Winfrey. Rosie O'Donnell.
It's going to annoy me now. Someone's going to tell me in the chat. No,
yeah, dude, use the chat. Use their hive mind. I use them for everything. They're better than Google.
I was chatting with a mate of mine who spends half his time in America and half his time in the UK. And he was saying that, like, talking to his mates about 28 Years Later, all the Brits loved it. All the Brits thought it was fucking brilliant. And all the Americans fucking hated it. And it's quite interesting because, you know, most zombie movies are like, what if zombies? Which isn't a really interesting question. It's like, well, run the fuck away. In this, it's what if Britain was isolated from the rest of the world, no communication, no internet, no mobile phones for 28 years? What kind of fucking crazy ass society would Britain descend into? And there's a lot of notes in it that are very specific to the UK. So it'll be interesting to see what an American makes of it all. But yeah, we'll talk about that another day.
I'll report back.
So yeah, just to go back to this horrible story in Idaho, this guy, he called up the fire. He set a fire, a 60-acre fire. Thank you. I also got a cup of coffee. Thanks, Kat. Yes, got a cup of coffee in my Politics Social mug. Yeah, he called up the fire. He set the fire, 60-acre fire, and then he called up the fire brigade, got them to come out, and when they came out, he started started taking them out. I think that was like 400 police and law enforcement officers involved in taking him out. And I think they did in the end. They shot him, didn't they? But it wasn't very clear whether he shot himself or whatever. But just what a sick bastard and what a sick state of affairs. Well, and what's
one thing that's bothering me, and this is pure conjecture. I don't want anybody to like, I heard it here first. No, it maybe it's like the fog of war. Like people didn't know. Like they were saying, like it could have been multiple people.
Yeah.
Just because we found one guy doesn't mean that there was one guy.
Yeah.
You know. And of course he's not testifying anytime soon. So
how's it being reported in the US? Are they, because he's going to be a white nationalist, isn't he? He's going to be a Trump supporter. I'll be very surprised if he turns out to be a fan of Kamala Harris.
What?
Kirsten Dunst, thank you, Steve Martin.
Oh,
who's
Mary
that
Jane.
guy who was in Three Amigos?
Steve Martin.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Thanks, Steve. Sorry, go on. What you said?
All of my random words, sometimes they're right.
Were you reading that message from your?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Chris says, mind you, I had to go first thing this morning to the GP to pick up a blood test request form. Bastards. An independent Scotland. We have Barry. That's from Kate Smith. Well, you need to watch 28 Days Later because it's 28 Years Later. It's got the maddest ending. I won't give away any plot spoilers, but it's a bonkers film. It is absolutely fucking bonkers. Gleefully nuts. Chris says, and on the bus there were two pensioners in thick coats. They're clearly suffering in the heat, but they were complaining it was cold. This is the first signs of heat stroke, my lovelies. Oh dear. And normal services resumed, says Martin Harrow. Yeah, no risk for the wicked. And damn lit love it on MSN. So yeah, this is what I was going to ask, Mikey. What's the reporting been like on mainstream media in the US on this?
They haven't said too much because they don't know a ton. They can't really do a full forensic investigation of what's going on over there because the fucking area is on fire. And you know what I mean? So they're still, they have to haul that guy's body out of there, get their people out of there, and then send in the hoses because they still got to put that fire out. So it might still be a few days, maybe even a week out before they have any more details about what's there, if there's anything left. Maybe he was burning something he wasn't supposed to be burning back there.
Yeah.
Like that's like, you know what I mean? Like when people are doing this antisocial behavior and kind of shit like that, it's usually not like the only thing that they've done that's antisocial. Like there's probably some other shit. If he's over here setting the fucking the backyard on fire to attack the people that are coming to put out said fire, dude is not wrapped up too fucking good. Look the fuck around. There are some clues to some other shit that could be on the way. But
Michael's making a good point in the chat here, saying so one guy with a can of gas at a pew pew, and it took hundreds of cops to stop him. But the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Think of all the calls they couldn't go to. Anne Phillips is late and blaming her sister.
I mean,
that's fair enough.
The population of that area, like that town, because it's like a remote kind of like mountainous town, it's 50,000 people.
Yeah.
So there's not, they don't have crime. Yeah, they don't have crime out there. The cops usually don't do much. No, dude. I'm telling, like small towns might only have 4 cops.
I'm sure incest is still illegal in the States.
Yeah, but they don't prosecute it with cops. You know, they don't usually like, hey, who is that?
What about jaywalking? What if someone's accidentally crossing the road at not a crossing point?
There are no black people over there. They do not prosecute these crimes over there. They reserve all those bullshit petty ticky-tack shits for the NYC, those bastions of justice, making sure that people don't cross without the arrow telling them it's okay to do so.
Blue Badger says the original Forrest Gump was designed to be unmakeable. They didn't want to make it, so they wrote in stuff like going to the moon and all sorts of weird stuff like riding sharks. They did actually write the sequel to, or the unofficial remake of Forrest Gump, which was called the Life of Benjamin Button, which was the same script writer who wrote Forrest Gump wrote Benjamin Button. It's basically the same story, even down to like in one film it's like a feather motif. I think there's a feather that you keep seeing, and in the other one it's a hummingbird that just keeps turning up at different.
I love Forrest Gump. I love Tom Hanks. I'm sure some of you do too. Do not listen to.
What about Tom Hanks in the remake of The Lady Killers? Do you love him in that?
No, I didn't watch that.
Oh, good. You dodged a bullet there, mate. So yeah, let's move on. I got the other 2 big stories. Obviously, are going to be Trump's big bastard bill, but we'll come to that in a minute. Let's talk about this Supreme Court ruling and kind of explain what it means to people in the UK, the implications of it for states and individuals who don't like Trump's executive orders.
I didn't hear the question, and I'm sorry. I was reading the chat.
We're just talking about on Friday, the Supreme Court made a ruling say that there couldn't be any nationwide injunction put on any of the executive orders coming from Trump. It had to be individual cases brought by individuals or collective action as a class action lawsuit, or by corporations, or by lobbyists, or by like the gun lobby, a PAC or something, political action committee. And when the judgment comes through, they might be exempt from the law, but everyone else will still have to follow the law.
Yep, they want every single person to go to court and win in court.
Yeah. So, Mikey, what happens when a Democrat gets in and says, "Right, I'm gonna take all the pew pews away"?
They're gonna have to turn them in, or else be in violation of the law. Or I mean, they could go to court. They could just get a lawyer, and then the lawyer could fight. Can fight the Supreme Court, and then they could win, and then they could be okay. Like the unintended consequences of this are disgusting.
So up till Friday, what happened was Trump will give an executive order, which is an edict, like from a papal bull. It's like something that comes down from on high, and no one can argue against it, right? No matter how mad it is. And a judge in a lower court somewhere in the country could say, "I think this is unconstitutional. We're gonna put a stay order on that executive order until it's resolved in court whether it is constitutional or not," and that could go all the way to the Supreme Court, which takes a long time. And in that time, the executive order isn't executed. But now they've got rid of this, and anything Trump wants to do, he can fucking do. You guys are so fucked. I'm sorry. I feel so sorry for you. Fuck.
So this is where the this stage of fascism, this is the paranoia stage, right? Because he doesn't want anybody to tell him no. He doesn't want anybody to contradict him, and he's going to make sure that there isn't a way for anybody. Brother, you think motherfuckers give a goddamn about the Supreme Court? You have 0 cops doing their job. You have everybody in the 4 winds doing something else, and now you want to start stripping people's rights? All right, brother. Good luck.
This isn't going to end well, is it? This isn't going to end well for America.
I think America's going to be just fine. I think someone's overplaying their hand. Again, again and again, y'all keep acting like it is the Democrats whose job it is to stop Trump. It is America's job to stop Trump. Stop looking like it's like, well, MAGA's always going to support. Sure, I get it. Y'all want to pull up your polls. You want to do this, that, and the third. The veterans are not going to tolerate unconstitutionalness. You know what I'm saying? You can't subjugate soldiers after they, just because they left. You can't put them into, you know what I'm saying, a fascist system and them like it. Democrats don't have to do too much. He is setting up all of the prerequisites for a disaster. Okay, keep lining it up, buddy. That's his decision. And
in your opinion, how will that disaster manifest itself? What would it look like?
I'm not going to jail so you can get your line. You know what I'm saying. Read between the lines. You have to read between the lines. I have to be able to broadcast, and I cannot say everything that I'm trying to say. I'm saying it, but you have to hear it.
But could without elaborating too much, are you talking about like an actual situation where America descends into a war with itself, or do you think it's going to be smaller than that?
No, I think it's going to be pockets of violence where he tries to push too far, or the violence gets out of control from his own people and he can't rein them in anymore. Like, he's not ready for what's going to come next. The American people have been dealing with gun violence forever. So forgive me if I'm not, falling out of my seat when people start talking about guns this and guns that. We live here. We're not in, London. We're not in Paris where everyone is unarmed and a knife is the worst thing everybody has. We don't live there. We live here. It's different here. So our expectations and our fears are different. I'm not scared per se, but I know that this is not going to be this is all in an attempt to do what? Again, he's going to win what by doing all this? What do you plan on winning by removing people's like he's trying to get rid of all the Haitians that came here on temporary protected status by revoking all their status.
The Supreme Court the other day said that's absolutely fine, and he can deport people to third countries that have got nothing to do with them. So he can just deport people to Uganda if he wants to. If you're Mexican
or Afghanistan,
yeah,
just send him to Afghanistan or Russia.
Taliban, isn't he? Because the way I see it is I can't see America descending into civil war. I think it's just too much. People are too lazy. They can't be asked. I mean, people can't be asked getting off their ass to go and get something from the takeaway. They get it delivered, for fuck's sake. They're not going to fight a war. But I can see, like what you said.
Strange correlation, but okay.
Well, some people are too lazy to think for themselves. But our sort of understanding of politics up to this point, I think, misunderstands the mentality of the MAGA faithful, the 38% or whatever it is of Trump supporters who will support him no matter what. They see Trump as like an extension of themselves. And you see this and we have the same thing with Brexit over here. When you have a go about Brexit or you have a go about Trump and say that he's a terrible person or Brexit's a terrible idea, they think that you're having a go at them personally. They take personal offense in a way that I would never take personal offense if someone called Keir Starmer a twat or something. I'd be like, yeah, probably.
Gasp.
But yeah, I mean, so what I can see happening, and I hope I'm wrong, is Trump stirring the pot, stirring and stirring, getting hotter and hotter, and at some point things are going to go nuts, and people are going to go out, and they're going to, they're going to protest, and that protest is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. That'll give him an excuse to bring in the Insurrection Act, get troops on the streets. They've already got a dry run for that in California at the moment. The governor of California didn't want it, and they got in anyway. And the court said, no, sorry, Gavin Newsom, you can't stop this from happening. And so that's all. The trial run's been done. They know they can do it. And at that point is when Trump says there's so much violence on the streets, I'm going to have to declare a state of emergency and suspend the midterms. Which I seriously think he'll do. Like, he's not even listening. He's
You've said this 1,000 times already, and I get that you want to scroll and doomcast onto us, but you underestimate us. You underestimate us. He's not fighting.
I hope I'm wrong.
He's not fighting people, but you broadcast this out to people and you spread the doom as opposed to actually accentuating the fact. Well, maybe you don't know. Maybe that's a me thing, and I'm not explaining it properly. If you think all of these blue states are going to just do everything that he tells them to do, like he's doing things like instead of me and you are having a fight, or I'm telling you, meet me outside, we're gonna have a big old tussle, and then as soon as you walk out the classroom to go fight me, I call the teacher and I say, teacher, look, he needs to get suspended. He's doing the thing. Like, that's what he's doing. That's why he's using all these little court things. There is no, I'm going to kill, like, even all this ICE shit. They're not kicking indoors like they wanted to. They wanted to go in there like the SS. They wanted to go in there like stormtroopers. And then people just didn't answer the door. And Tom Homan is crying on TV because AOC is telling people, hey, make sure they have a warrant. He's like, this is not fair. They won't have that line, when that line is crossed, and if, where he decides they want to manually force people to do things, that is going to burn the hand that reaches out to manually force people to do things.
Yeah. Because,
I mean, at this point, all of them motherfuckers in LA are there by the grace of God.
Yeah.
Because it's still 1.5 million people versus 100 troops. Like, let's be very serious about this. Like, if the people don't want this, there isn't a lot the government can do about it.
Yeah.
That is why we're armed.
Yeah. Just want to say, Thomas Bell end. Thank you very much. So fucking off there. Bye, idiot troll. The MAGA voter wants to have a chat with us. I've got no interest in talking to you. You're beyond help. Fuck off forever. Go and find some other fucking channel to sit on and go, I love Trump. He's like my mum, only more attractive, if that's possible. Weirdos.
Scott, I got Scott in the chat over here. Says surely Mikey Pockets of Trouble will surely be just quelled immediately by the government. That's the thing. I gotta make it back to report all that stuff. Like, when that switch turns, they're not ready for it. They're not ready for it. It is in everyone's best interest for everything to remain calm and peaceful and for him to just fucking do what the court says. He's not going to do that. So we're going to see how much into the red, how much the tachometer is going to go up. We're going to see how far it's going to go.
Okay, well,
either way it goes, like honestly, I'm not so worried about him using the military against people. This fucking bill, this big asshole bill is the problem. That is generational starvation and destitution rather than worrying about him sending dudes from 5 towns over to come over here and kick the house in. Like, I'm not so worried about that.
Yeah. So let's get on to this big bastard bill. So this is going through, we call it ping pong in the UK. I think you guys call it Vote-A-Rama.
Table tennis. Oh, yeah.
And what it is loads of amendments get put in by the upper house, which in America is the House of Lords. Oh, no, sorry, the Senate. And, they put in all these amendments. Now, there's some holdouts from Republicans, not because this bill is going to take away the health insurance for over 10 million Americans. No, not that. And we're talking about children here, the elderly, veterans. No, it's because it's not harsh enough. It's not horrible enough. It doesn't have enough cuts in it. They want more cuts. Like, this bill is too tame for them. And that's why there's a few holdouts. Anyway, there's one Republican senator who said, I'm not standing for re-election. I'm not going to fucking defend this bill. It's a load of shit. And that's it.
But you have to add him to the other ones, right? So that's like 6 or 7 senators who are not going with it now.
Yeah, but they will. They'll go through.
Okay.
Do you not think so?
No, it's going to go back to the House.
I don't know if they'll get through by July the 4th, because that's when he wants it to go through, isn't it?
I was about to say, name one thing he's fucking done on time.
U-turned? Chickened out?
He even does that
July 9th is going to be the end of his fucking tariffs. And he said that he's going to stop his... he's stopped any kind of trade negotiations with Canada.
Good. I hope Canada leaves us high and dry, and then I hope those people who are affected by it do what they need to do to get this motherfucker impeached.
Yeah.
I hope it's a short stint that us and Canada don't trade back and forth, but this is what I'm saying. Every country needs, this is an all hands on deck thing, and I like that Canada is doing their part, but I think they walked back some of that stuff. No, everyone needs to be hard on him. He doesn't, as soon as you acquiesce to his claimed power, it's actualized. He doesn't get fucking shit, as far as I'm concerned. He has to earn fucking everything. He has to fight for every inch. He has to knock over every person. Every single one of us is an obstacle in his way. Every single one of us. So
he is the most powerful man on earth, though.
Is he, though? He doesn't even fucking know what day it is. Guaranteed. But that's the thing. He's so powerful, yet he's got fucking Salacious Crumb and a fucking gargoyle made out of pizza crust for his fucking henchmen. This dude is every single person around him is a moron. He's a moron. Every single step they take has 17 extra steps. It's late. It's over budget. This is what he does. He professionally fails at everything. He sucks at being an American. He's the worst American. Maybe Thomas Jefferson. He's pretty bad.
But how does he keep winning them?
Because he's racist. And this just in, too many white people in America still racist. Yep, that just came in over the wire here. That's the problem. But
other
you can't
in the past haven't got as far as he has.
There was a civil war. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, going back that far. But
how far back? That's not that far away.
Yeah. But I mean,
America's pretty new.
I don't think any Republican candidate, serious contender for the presidency, could have been as fucking crazy as Trump and actually got elected.
It was the timing. It has nothing to do with him. It's the timing. He's just a lucky motherfucker. It's because he ran after Obama.
He's lucky that the Democrats are so fucking useless.
Well, they're so busy suckling on the teat of lobbyists that they missed a fucking open net. Open net. Just roll the ball in there. Hell, inchworm your face across the grass and then just bump it in with the top of your crown. Just put it in there. Nope, they couldn't figure it out. It was too difficult. No one can figure out how to win this election.
Well, talking of elections, there was a primary last week, wasn't there, in New York, and Zoran Mamdani won. What did you make of that? Do you think that is something to hold on to for a bit of hope for the future, or do you think it's the same old establishment just doing their own bullshit?
Well, I mean, he won the primary, so we're going to hope that, we're pretty confident that Cuomo is going to run independent or some sort of weirdo third-party thing and try to spoil the vote because he's a sore fucking loser and a sexual offender. So, ladies, stay away from him. No one be near that fucking horrible piece of garlic toast. It's very, very heartwarming to see the young people because there's
isn't Eric Adams going to stand as an independent as well?
Yeah.
So
he's got tons of support. All the especially after you let
all the Republicans,
especially after you let ICE into Rikers because you didn't want to go down for your what was it, Turkey, that he was getting all that all those trips and gold bars and all that. Yeah, you know, this is a little something for me. You know, I look out for them. I make sure that they don't have to pass fire inspections for their buildings, and then you know, a little something gets left in my mailbox.
There's an argument going on in the Democrat Party about whether Mamdani's triumph is like, you know, it shows the roadmap of how to beat Trump. But then there's some kickback against that, saying it won't work in key battlegrounds. What's your sort of take on that?
I missed the first. Oh, Lord have mercy. There we go. Dark4 super chatted. Graham's starter goal. Here's my contribution. LOL. It's over here. I'll take it. It goes for one for your goal. Add one to the goal. Thank you, Dark4. Say again. Sorry.
I was just asking about whether Mamdani's triumph in the primary here, going from 1% to winning the election in just 5 months, whether that's a roadmap for Democrats and liberals in general to fight back, or whether you think it's not going to appeal in key battlegrounds.
We're definitely going to find out. There's a lot more young people running, and I got to find the numbers on that, but the youth vote was huge. So you don't need a PAC with $400 million in it. Apparently, all you need is some viral clips of selling halal food at a discounted price because you don't have to pay $20-something thousand to get a license to have a food truck. That Instagram reel probably would have been worth millions and millions of dollars if you would have got a consultant and all that other stuff. So who knew that the way to reach young people was social media? Oh, but it's common sense, obvious shit. Like, I'm gonna make the buses free and I'm gonna make them pay for it. It's like no money for them, and this is gonna make the city run smoother and get these fucking buses out of the way so you guys can like have a functioning city again. And then it's funny because like all of the Richie Riches over in New York are just like, they're just gonna be dragging us out to Central Park and it'll be like what that guy say? He said it'll be like Batman when they pushed all the billionaires out on the ice on the East River and let them fall in. Like, brother, they're asking you to pay $20,000. You make $5 million a year.
Yeah.
You really can't even notice that money. It's literally pennies to you. It's
2% on after your first million. So if you're earning 1.1 million a year, you'll have to pay $2,000 more.
But.
Before we go on, Jovian, thank you so much for the 10 Politics Social gift memberships. That is incredibly kind of you, Jovian. So now Rory Barr, Aaron Nutley,
Do you understand that?
Wolf Marine, Shane K, the Gin Stitcher, Jinx TV, Jeanette Macklin, Rush Inho, and Timberwolf Games and Marshall are all now members of the channel. Welcome, new members. Oh, hang on. My button's not working to say welcome the new members. Why is it not working? And why did I just get a notification saying I've connected to something? My computer's connected to some Bluetooth nonsense. Oh, anyway, it's hard to get things to work when. There we go. Welcome, new members.
Hi.
Old school. Welcome. Thank you very much to Jeremy. That was very kind of you. An update on the Idaho shooting. Police have identified the suspect, who is deceased, and turns out he wanted to be a firefighter. Oh my god. And Dorco there saying billionaires are killing us, and you're not wrong. Billionaires are the scourge of society, and I really do believe that we need to stop talking about rich and poor, working people, as opposed to, I don't know, retired people. We need to be pushing any kind of division down the road of billionaires and everyone else, because there's only a handful of billionaires. There's not that many in the world, comparatively. And so they're an easy group to demonize because they're fucking horrible, and they're obviously psychopathic, because otherwise they wouldn't be millionaires.
Whoa, we got the gift membership train is rolling out of the station, Alistair. Thank you so much. We got Trump failed. Ha 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 ha.
I goes where I goes.
Have an air horn. Winston. Secular rarity. The witchy god. Lady Ruby.
I goes where I goes.
Welcome. You are now all binsiders. On the bin side.
I goes where I goes.
Thank you so much, Alistair, and we appreciate you.
Jeannie Bottle says greedy billionaires. I think they're all greedy, aren't they? To be a billionaire is to be greedy, right?
Well, I think billionaires are a symptom of a larger problem. Like, the fact that any one person can have that much money means that whatever system we have doesn't error correct, or it's corrupt, or both. So that's what needs to be fixed. Like, if we get rid of all the billionaires and we tax them to Jesus, if we don't change the laws that allowed them to access that much money in the first place, we're going to be right back here in 5 years or 10 years, and they'll be doing the same shit. It'll be Twitter part 7, and then they'll be using that to fucking rig elections and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the capitalists, this late stage capitalism that all of us had to grow up in sucks. It's stupid. And it's great for people who've already got their millions and billions. They can just float around being upset that the world is boring. It cannot continue. And then they want to what? Give that money to their ignorant, stupid kid who can't fucking do shit or fucking contribute to society at all. And this is where all the resources are. No. I think there's going to be a large shaking up of the worldwide dynamic, especially when it comes to billionaires, because there ain't no way you work so hard that you're worth that much. Sorry.
No.
Ain't nobody. I see motherfuckers dig ditches, drive in railroad spikes, cut trees. Like, ain't nobody ever work at a restaurant during a lunch rush by yourself. Those people deserve billions of dollars, not you. Not just because your corporation bought another corporation and you just get everything because of it. The fuck are we doing right now? What are we doing?
Darren Christian, thank you so much for the £2 super chat, mate. One for the pot. Glad to see you safely home, Graham. Oh, that's really kind of you, mate. Thank you. And then Dark 4x4 with another £2 saying, there you go. You can have one as well. Thank you very much, Dark 4x4. And then we've got Tim Ballon in with £5. Sorry, have missed much. Back from watering the gorilla planted trees. What do you mean, like gorilla as in you went out and planted some trees in like a gorilla undercover operation, or do you mean gorilla as in like King Kong?
The gorilla planted those.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
The gorilla came through. It was like, "Would you like a plant? I'm gonna get you a plant." And then they go in the back and they get a plant, and then they put it in the ground for them. They just eat all my stuff.
Jovian, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. The problem is the billionaires influence leaders. Yeah. Any holdouts? I do believe that any holdouts in the Senate, they'll just be offered so much money that they'll just go, oh, fuck it. Like this guy who said he's not going to stand again in the next election. Anyone who's not happy with it and knows they're going to get kicked out anyway, be given a golden parachute the size of Nebraska.
Like, I don't think McConnell's going to flip. He's like, I'm already pissed. Y'all, like, Kentucky is the perfect example of how MAGA is just like cutting off your nose to spite your face. Like, they can't back Trump's anti-American policies whilst being American. Like, that's the problem. Like, everything he does hurts your constituents. Everything he does hurts them. And then you got to go sell it to the constituents and tell them that it doesn't hurt you and it's good for you. It was working for like a week. But then you wanted to start the tariff shit with Canada, and all of those people who work, like, bourbon is a big deal in Kentucky. You can't, like, what do you want them to say?
Well,
what do you want them to do?
That's what I mean, Mikey. Like, I think they'll get to a point where they're like, well, I'm going to retire anyway. I'm not standing for re-election. Give me 100 million and I'll go away and I'll vote for whatever the fuck you want.
But that's
this is going to add $5 trillion to the deficit.
No, we're going to make so much more than that, though, from all the tariffs, which is a tax on the people. Like, it's so lunatic crazy land.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't have $1 million trillion that's going to get eaten up in all this stuff. Like, and when the pitchforks and torches come marching down the block, I'm not in a well-lit mansion, so being right here in the middle of the pack, I'm feeling kind of okay. But I mean, between the steel, you know what I mean, arguing with the steel with Canada, and then I'm surprised that all the auto unions haven't just been just eviscerating Trump on a daily basis, but they got a carve out. So what do they care what happens to everybody else? They got a carve. Well, news. Here's how it hurts you, big guy. How are we gonna buy the car if we don't have no money?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your little plan didn't exactly work. Looking out for yourself only is not gonna work. None of y'all's plans are gonna work because no one is gonna be able to afford your plan because it's not a plan. It's just theft. It's just theft. So we will see.
So there are some holdouts, and I don't know if Mitch McConnell, like, if he gives a fuck anymore. He's like 90 years old or something. But Chuck Schumer, who's the Democrat leader in the upper house, he's the Democrat leader, the minority leader. He is fucking Weekend at Bernie's. He's being held up by like fucking. He's like this. He's like talking. He's going, "Yes, the thing is that we're doing these kind of deals with the other men." He's like, oh, I can't even listen to like 5 seconds of what he's got to say without him just being really, really bored. And a state representative was assassinated just a couple of weeks ago. And what did Schumer do in response? He made a fucking long, boring ass speech, saying, "Oh, we shouldn't do this kind of thing. This is a bad thing." It was just awful. It was so shit.
So whether it's the McConnells or it's the Schumers, time for them to go. And Tom Tillis and all that stuff. So because these people are leaving finally, whether it's because of Trump or they just finally, they really want to finish that boat that they've been working on in the garage. And they just really want to get out of whatever their lie or excuse is for getting out and running away.
Yeah.
Good. We've been trying to get rid of your asses for fucking decades. Good. Get out. Now we can actually get some people into some prominent places. Like Kentucky is very red. Yeah. But there are progressives there. And if you run a good campaign as a progressive, maybe even as a Democratic Socialist, look at Mamdani. It resonates when you give
it does absolutely does.
And we were talking about it on a Friday Night Social. If you guys want to go back and check out that stream, people like that their politicians are mad and are like mad because the people haven't been taken care of. That makes them happy. Like, yes, Yes, that's what Trump does. But Trump makes up the problem, and then he makes up the fucking perpetrator of the problem.
But what's interesting is there's quite a few Trump voters, not necessarily the MAGA lot, they're too far gone, but the people who are sort of moderate but voted for Trump who really like Bernie Sanders.
Because he's a populist, yeah.
Yeah. Tim, thank you very much for the £5 super chat, mate. We planted loads of trees around a couple of football pitches, did not ask permission. So guerrilla-like warfare, guerrilla, as in grr. So thanks very much for that from Tim, and well done, mate. Good gardening there, good guerrilla gardening. One Angry Pagan, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Mandami wants state-run food shops. Love this. Yep, he absolutely does. He also wants free public transport, which is music to my heart. Yovian, thank you very much for the £10 super chat. That's really kind. Mikey, can Mandami win nationally, do you think? Well, he's going for the mayor of London. Going for the mayor of New York at the moment.
Racist.
It'll be the case
Racist.
that we will have a Muslim mayor of London and a
New
Muslim
York.
mayor of New York if he wins in November.
I see that as a sign of progress. Others see it as the end of days.
Yeah. But do you think that he could do it? Do you think in years to come he could go all the way and get into the White House?
Oh, you mean president?
Yeah.
I mean,
although he can't. He wasn't born in America.
That is true. But let's say for example he was. Let's say he was born in New York. Whatever. Just for this thought experiment. I am hesitant about just picking someone, well, as if I'm in charge. I'm in charge, and I'm deciding that if I was going to pick him, I like people who have a broader breadth of experience and ideas and stuff like that. His ideas are perfectly cultured for New York. Like, he has a good idea for New York. I don't know that he knows what's best for Oklahoma and Nevada, and, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the even though it's a big city and you need big ideas for a big city, I don't know if that translates per se. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just like, and I want buses free everywhere in the country. Like, we cannot afford that. Like, that is not how that works. But I do like maybe Senate. Maybe if he's mayor for, like, 5-10 years.
New York State.
That's a shit job though. I wouldn't want to be. I'd rather be a senator than a governor. You got to go to fucking Albany all the time. Who the fuck wants to be in Albany? That place sucks.
Tim, thank you very much for the £5 super chat, my friend. We've been planting community orchids, so kids can have free fruit. They love the planter with blueberries. That is brilliant, Tim. Another thing that we need in the UK, and you need this in the US, by the way, as well.
Everywhere.
More female trees that actually bear fruit. Because nearly all the trees that your local county council put in the ground are male trees. Male trees make pollen. They don't make fruit. They make shitloads of pollen, and they can feel that their pollen isn't working, so they make more pollen. And the reason why you have hay fever like fucking crazy every summer, and it seems to be getting worse every summer, is because they just planted male trees. Fucking idiots. So plant more female trees. Let's get some more fruit to eat. They don't want the plebs to get free food, you see. They don't want to just take an orange from a tree or an apple.
Yeah, when I take over the earth, there will be mangoes and pears and everything will be everywhere. Like, it doesn't make sense to grow any, like, I get other trees can be pretty. But I mean, in public places, put some fruit out there. If it falls on the ground, look at there. You just made a job. Someone can collect the fruit, put it out for the fruit bats or possums or whatever. Who cares? We'll shovel it, Who cares? But if someone's starving to death, they can grab a friggin' apple off the tree and just hit it with one of these and just not die.
But when they didn't want people walking down the street and slipping on a bit of rotten fruit that had fallen from a tree and then suing the council for falling over, because we followed America in that tradition of oh my God, I'm a bit clumsy. It's all the council's fault.
To be fair, they was trying to get away with some bullshit over here. Motherfuckers will not put a railing on steps or something like that. I'm like, well, you're on your own.
Well, that's one of the things in Panama that I discovered quite quickly is there's no indemnity or whatever it's called. There's like basically if you've because I mean, the health and safety is a foreign country in Panama, and like you'll be walking down the street and there'll be a big fucking hole, and I'm not talking like a little manhole. I'm talking about 2 meters by 2 meters hole in the pavement, in the middle of the pavement. If you're not looking where you're going, down the hole, and you're going to give yourself a serious injury. But yeah, the people who won the town or the city, you can't sue them. It's your own lookout. Don't fall down a hole. Jovian, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. He could move the capital to New York City. How would you feel about that, Mikey?
I'm not a New Yorker. That's up to them.
No, but move the capital. Oh, you mean the capital of New York State or the capital of America? Because the capital of New York State is Albany.
That's what I was saying earlier. Is like you can't, if you're the governor, you got to be in fucking Albany all the time.
Oh,
There's
okay.
nothing to see or do out there. Who wants to go there? That sucks. Make me a fucking senator. That way I can stay in fucking Manhattan or fucking the Bronx or some shit, have a sweet pad, and then it's an easy trip to DC. Fucking Albany. That shit sucks.
So,
that's where all the snow is.
So what's your thoughts on just to finish off, what's your thoughts on the big beautiful, the big bastard bill? Do you think it's going to get passed?
Not like this. I think there's way too many defectors because at this point we're 10 days away from everybody's supposed to be everybody's supposed to be on the same page and rowing in the same direction for Trump. They are far from that. You do not hear them out there singing the choruses of Trump right now. It's not happening. Everybody's like, well, I have some reservations about this. And Marjorie Taylor Greene over here like, well, I didn't know it said that. So I didn't know. So they'll probably try to use some sort of subterfuge or this thing was in there and we forgot to put something in. So we'll have to go back and send it to the House and then we'll get that straightened out. And they'll find some 2-week, kind of excuse. And then we'll get a better bill in 2 weeks, because if they pass this as written, good luck, because no one is going to be listening to the federal government for anything anymore. They're not going to be it'll be every man for themselves. It'll take about a month to get there, especially once these tariffs kick in. And yeah, they'll be begging to fucking reverse all of this shit after the chaos erupts.
Yeah. Jovian asks, what's this goal for? The goal was for confetti. So I hope everyone enjoyed that. We did actually hit the goal. So thanks very much. Nice one, chat, says Diz. Couldn't agree more. So thanks very much to Jovian and everyone else who's kindly donated. And yeah, leave them for the birds. Talking about fruit again. Or they did Narrow Streets and Mines in that gammon town. Worcester went FUK, says it all. And when I go Pagan says, I'd feel horrid being in New York City just as when I go to London. There is only one city I can deal with, and that's Exeter. I can't stand areas that are so built up. My problem with New York City is that it stinks, especially in the summer. Really fucking stinks. That is a stinky city. I've been to some stinky cities in my time, and New York City is one of them. But yeah, I've never been to Albany. Have you been to Albany? It might be really nice. I have loads of things to do. I like skiffle bands and shit.
I heard New York only stinks when Graham is there.
Woo! What? Now.
Kitty got claws.
Tim just dropped another super chat in to say 151 viewers and only 2 likes. Come on, give some likes. Can people give some likes? Some likes.
They don't.
I'm having to. I'm having to put some Vaseline if everyone's what I'm playing with. Put some Vaseline on my lips because I've sunburnt my lips over the weekend at the Glastonbury Festival. Yeah, which is never good.
Your
anyway, Tim,
sensitive.
Thanks for that. Like the channel, like it, because I like everyone.
Don't you like us? Don't you like me? Don't you like us?
Yeah. So I hope you're right about this bill, that it doesn't pass at this reading, and I hope that it doesn't pass full stop. I hope it's another case of when they tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act and it just all fell on its face. However, I'm not as I wouldn't place a bet on it because I think they're all corrupt little self-serving shits, and I think that they've all got a price. And Trump has got the richest people in the world at his beck and call, and he can just say, can you just give him some crap dough and make him very rich? Thank you very much. Where are you gonna spend it?
That's the thing. They are.
Monaco?
Okay. Well, then they're all gonna. You know what I mean? Like there won't be a society for them to spend the money in.
There'll be other countries still. America's not the world.
Right.
Buy some gold. Buy some crypto.
Because again, like I'm gonna pass this big beautiful bill, and then what are you gonna do? Like go out to to your kid's soccer game on the weekends? Like this is the thing. Like they are if they want to paint targets all over themselves, go for it. I think that's a foolish idea to steal from people and then go back to the district where those people are. I think that's dangerous. But hey, they think it's a good idea to steal from Americans who are broke already. Okay.
But do you feel like there is a breakdown in communication? Like, do you think that the people who need to know that are going to know that? Because they're watching OAN, they're watching fucking Fox News.
It's
and
too
they're
late
not going to
now.
be told this.
It's too late now.
No, but
The path for the Republicans to let the people know before the hammer hit them has passed. Because at this point, if they try to flip the script and Democrats and it ain't gonna work now. Because once the calamity happens, because they've been pushing the Democrats and they've been bragging about how the Democrats ain't gonna get shit. This is all us. We got this. We won, baby. We won the election, so that means we get to decide what happens next. Bet. You got it, King. You got it, King. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you cook. Do it. Okay, he's doing it, y'all. He's doing it, y'all. So this is just like homegirl in Florida who almost died from an ectopic pregnancy because she had to call the governor so that she can get her special case permission, and then she tried to blame the left. And then she tried.
Got it though.
But then post hoc wants to blame the left for it. Ain't nobody buying that. Ain't nobody buying it. No. It is hundreds of millions of views of people ridiculing, mocking, and laughing at her. So just because she's on OAN and the 1,500 people that watch their fucking broadcast, there's 7,500 that watch that broadcast in mockery. You know what I'm saying? Who are watching and seeing that these people are fucking hypocrites. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I hope you're right.
And you can't keep promising that the gas is going to get cheaper and then bomb Iran. Like, these are just things that cannot happen. Like, they don't know what they're doing. And he's doing everything in opposition for all of his campaign promises.
Okay, I get that. From where, my point of view on this is that the people who need that message are not going to get it. And they'll turn up. They won't get health insurance. Why have I not got health insurance? Why have I got this bill for $50,000 because I had a tooth out? And they'll say, it's because of the immigrants. It's because of the trans women. It's because of the man in the moon, Bert and Ernie.
They've been trying that.
Sesame Streets.
They've been trying that.
It works, Mikey. You've spoken to some of these fuckers. They haven't got a fucking clue. They honestly believe what they think that like Fox News is reality.
You telling me like I don't live here. This is why we argue all the time. Because instead of talking to me, you talk to the idea that other people have from Fox News. I'm not them. I'm telling you from the ground, right? Like as a investigative reporter myself, this shit doesn't work if he don't deliver. He ain't delivered. He said, I'm going to get rid of even Joe Rogan is pissed. He said he was going to get the criminals out there, and he's like grabbing grandmas and shit. Like, it's not working. Everything that he's trying, yes, Fox News is going to continue to broadcast that it's the best thing ever. Most of Fox News viewers are us looking to see how crazy they are and what they're saying and us reacting to it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, they're not the majority of shit. There's still this small little sect of people who have cloistered off this other sect of people. Yeah, you can keep the diehards who watch Fox News every day. Yeah, they'll have no idea what's coming. But when it comes, there isn't going to be a Democrat around to blame because they've been bragging about how great this is going to be, right? Like the Democrats are saying, hey, we shouldn't do this. Hey, we shouldn't do this. It's going to cause this. It's going to cause that. So when it causes this and that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to be like, the Democrats should have told us that this was going to cause this. Everybody's on record saying that this is going to 5.3 trillion to the fucking deficit. Like,
Mikey,
no one's on the wrong side of history here. It's just they're saying that the sky is not blue. We're gonna keep saying the sky is blue.
I can only really talk from my experience. You're right, because I'm not in the States. And what happened in the UK? We had the Brexit vote, and the fact that Brexit has gone terribly is not blamed on the people who told everyone to vote for Brexit. Nigel Farage is now in line to be our next prime minister. The people who are blamed are people like me, who were deemed Ramonas, because we wouldn't let them do the Brexit that they wanted to do.
Right.
Mikey, they had an 80-seat majority. They could do whatever the fuck they liked, and no one could do anything about it. And this is the Brexit they picked. This is the Brexit that the headbangers wanted. And yet none of them
and that
have got
I
the blame
have made
for it.
mistakes.
And I just like I don't see why our countries are that different. I think morons are fucking morons wherever they are in the world, and they'll never.
Well,
they're
you guys
not
have
capable. They're not capable of the introspection that you need to go. Yeah, I fucked up there. I supported something that has actually fucked me over. And you're seeing this with the woman in Florida. She's she has an ectopic pregnancy. She needs an abortion. Luckily, she's got the fucking governor's number on speed dial, and she gets to have an abortion. She gets to have it. That's who you want when you've got a medical fucking emergency, and they get a politician involved. That's the way it should be.
Everybody just text the governor. That's what she did.
But then she had the operation. She had the procedure. Sorry, and then she blamed the Ramonas. She blamed the Democrats. She blamed the liberals.
And it has been labeled everywhere as the dumbest woman in Congress.
But not on Fox News. It hasn't. On Fox News,
they're not Earth.
Future.
But they're not Earth. No one gives a shit about Fox. Like, they're talking to idiots, or they're putting out shit and us is reacting to it. It doesn't matter if they continue to lie. It does not change the truth of the matter. And what I'm saying is, whether or not she can get on there and they can spin it on OAN or News Nation or whatever it is with Chris Cuomo, the fact remains that she still almost didn't get it. And that's the point I'm making, is that they're fostering in their own downfall in every arena. When they talk about, well, he's the no war president, he starts kicking up shit in the Middle East. He's going to lower gas prices, kicking up shit with Iran. He's going to no tax on tips. Yeah, joke's on you. It's only going to be at the end of the year, and you're still going to have to, like, all of this shit is bullshit, lies, but it's paper mache. So when they go to pick up and hug their favorite Donald Trump, he's going to crumple in their arms because it's not there. So when everyone realizes that the emperor has no fucking clothes on, you can't say the Democrats stole his fucking clothes. You know what I mean? Like, there isn't going to be a way to blame Democrats into getting your money back, into getting those crops in the ground, into getting the families reunited. That's not in us. Well, Biden let all these, and then Trump did what? He had to send a, that's up to them to try to justify and explain. That's not my job. My job is to find out what kind of society we're going to make next, because this one is cooked.
That's fair enough. I just don't see these people acting in a rational way. I think of the Millerite cults of the 1800s.
I'm going to interrupt one more time. They're not going to act rationally. They're going to act selfishly. And that's what we can depend on, is that they're only going to look out for themselves. And when they can't look out for themselves, they're going to be pissed. We're not in charge. They blame whoever's in charge. Oh, and I got 2 British pounds from Tim Ballon. Graham, Mikey has more likes than viewers. Ah, that's rude. Graham, and then Dark 4x4, 2 British pounds. Bet Graham only listens to GBN News. Ooh, shots fired.
What?
Is that
no?
Is that good? Listen to that. Good Morning Britain or whatever.
No, GB News is Gammon Box News. It's the one funded by the fucking very, very rich, privately educated father of the banjo player from Mumford and Sons. It's a racist, horrible, homophobic, transphobic shit form.
The PSM.
Yeah. But look, there was a cult in the 1800s called the Millerites, and they believed that the world was going to end in 1844 on October the 22nd, and
That's my
Jesus was
birthday.
going to come back. Oh, really? Old Jesus
No.
was going to come back on your birthday, and then it just ended. Like any other day. And a lot of people, were disappointed and sacked the whole cult off. But even more of them than sacked it off, doubled down in their belief, even though everything they'd lived up to that point. I mean, they'd sold all their stuff, Mikey. They'd sold everything they own. They'd, given up their kids for adoption. They'd, shot their dogs in the head. They'd, done all the things they needed to do to get their affairs in order because they genuinely believed that the world was going to end on this date, and it didn't. And it was called the Great Disappointment. And it didn't knock their belief. It just didn't. And you can say, well, people are selfish, people are greedy. And I'm like, yeah, but if you got terminal cancer and you can't get fucking health care because Trump's taking it away from you, I can't see someone going, unless they already don't like Trump, if they think Trump's the second coming, which a lot of these weirdos do, they're going to say to themselves, oh, it's that Principal Skinner thing, is the children are wrong. They're going to go out and they're going to attack someone who's of a minority, someone who's,
They already do that. This is what
Exactly.
I'm saying. I'm not afraid of this. They already do that. This place is already violent and racist and corrupt. So you're saying we're gonna have a normal day, and that's
I'm saying that the people won't come over to, I
didn't say that they're gonna come over. I'm saying that they're going to look out for themselves when Trump disappoints them. That's what I'm saying, and I think you can agree to that. That when the shit does hit the fan, they might. I'm like, again, I haven't seen a fucking red MAGA hat in 2 years, bruh.
You live in California, to be fair.
I don't.
Sorry,
live
California,
in
Chicago. Sorry, Chicago.
And I don't live in the city. I live in the suburbs. It was Harris 60, Trump 40 out here. So like, I get it. Like, there's Republicans all around me all the time because it's half suburban, half kind of rural or whatever. Like, they're out here. Wait, as soon as they can't get what they want and they can't get what they need, they will go to whoever's going to get them what they want because they need what they need. They only voted for Trump because he said he was going to improve their situation. And if he cannot do that, they will find someone to do that. They're selfish. They only care about themselves.
I think some of them might be, Mikey, but I mean, the Americans that I've spoken to who are massive fucking Trump supporters, mate, it was like they were the firstborn. He's the firstborn son or something. I don't know the way they talked about him. No ones I've met in real life. Trump supporters who have a picture of him on the wall, of their homes. That there's like a hero worship. There's a footballification of politics, and they think that this guy is the second coming. They think that he's the most wonderful man on earth, and nothing that he can do is wrong. And yeah, we talked about it being a cult before, and I'm not talking about every single Trump photo. Obviously, there are some that were just, they liked him because of his economic promises or some sort of shit. He had sketches of plans or something, didn't he, about the economy? But this is something else. This is something that I don't think America's ever seen before to this extent. This hero worship, lunacy, and having lived through and experienced what Brexit was like in this country, which inspired the same kind of religious fundamentalism about it, that kind of love and the feeling that if you had to go at Brexit, you were having a go at that person individually. And I see that in these Americans, and nothing's going to bring them around, Mikey. They could die in their own shit, and they'll still be like the greatest president who ever lived.
They're not going to admit that they're wrong, but their actions are going to reflect what they believe. Like, the hats aren't there, and this is the final nail I'll put in, or nail in the coffin, or my final chess move here. Remember the big crowds at his birthday parade, Graham?
I'm the squeaky tank.
If what you were saying is correct, they would have dropped everything. It's Trump's fucking birthday. There's tanks. Let's fucking do this. But no one showed the fuck up.
But they're also lazy. as you alluded to earlier.
You can't. No.
As
They
I said
can't be
about them.
fanatical and lazy, dog. You got to pick one. They can't be fanatical and lazy.
Yes, you can. You can be an armchair fanatic. So does someone who's really, really into sport have to go to every match? They fucking
I'm
don't.
just saying, you can't be like, oh man, it's a cult. They're super dedicated, but also they won't go to a meeting if it's like, on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Like they
No. Same with football. Same with football.
But this is
you meet these, these Liverpool football club supporters from South Africa or Louisiana or from New South Wales or something, and they're hugely fanatical about it. They never go to a game because they're fucking thousands of miles away. Why would they fucking go all that way for a game that they can watch on TV?
Well, I mean, are they really a super fan if they didn't even go? That's what I want to know. I mean, can you even say you're an Arsenal fan if you've never been?
Me saying, people that I've spoken to, obviously the plural of anecdote isn't data. I know. What I'm saying is that all Trump supporters aren't the same. There are some out there who, no matter how shit things get, they will never give up their love and support for Trump. And the same with that in this country, you've still got people who think Brexit is the fucking best thing since sliced bread.
Okay, but what is the functionality of their support?
What
what does that mean that they support Trump? Like, what does it mean? Like, what is
they love him?
Okay, so what does that translate into, like action?
They won't blame him for anything. So when you're saying, "Oh, well, they'll see that their lives have gone shit," and they voted for Trump to make their lives better, I don't think they voted for Trump to make their lives better. They voted for Trump because they love him.
Okay.
Some of them, not all of them.
I mean,
obviously, they're not an homogenous group.
Your
mileage may vary.
You love polls. All the exit polling was saying that it was the economy. That's what they wanted, shit cheaper. And he said the tariffs were going to make shit cheaper. And then they found out that the tariffs didn't make shit cheaper. And now they're like, so, I mean, okay. It is.
SG in the chat is saying, when they're disappointed, they will not blame Trump. They will blame everyone but Trump. And that's what we've seen in this country with Brexit. And I think it's what's going to happen in America. Well, we've already seen it. Trump was shite in his first term. Not only did he not build that fucking wall, he also mounted an insurrection against your parliament building.
Even the fucking there was more people in D.C. for January 6th than for his fucking birthday. Just think about that.
Yeah, January 6th gave him a chance to kill some cops. So, he doesn't want to go and do that.
They could have did it there. There was a whole bunch of cops there. They could have did it again, but they didn't show
army
up.
people with tanks and got that guy who's walking down the street carrying the drone. They weren't allowed to fly it, so he just carried. It's just a guy carrying it.
They could at least put it on a string with some fishing lines so it looked like it was flying.
He lost the 2020 election. They had the Four Seasons landscaping company debacle. You had the former mayor of New York with all the shit running down his face.
Giuliani.
The whole thing was a massive shit show. I think if his base, and we're talking about his base here, we're not talking about just every single person who voted for Trump, but if his base are willing to put up with that kind of incompetence and shit and stupidity and fucking dementia, then I just can't see them turning on him. Unfortunately,
they don't have to. He didn't win because of his base. Can we agree on that?
Sorry?
He did not win the election because of his base.
Well, it was certainly a factor. I mean, he obviously needed more than that because it was 38% or something.
That's what I'm saying. 38% is not an election won.
An extra 10% on top of that. He only won by 49 point something percent, didn't he? He didn't even get over 50%.
Well, that's what I mean. The fact that he was able to grab people who had previously voted Democratic, or people who were in the middle and independents or whatever, or people who were never Trumpers, but they were just this inflation is fucking me up. He says he's gonna fix it. It is the economy. It is the economy, the economy, and he has ruined it. It's still parachuting down. People have kind of forgotten that, but yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing. No. This is going to continue. He's not going to learn as he gets. He's not going to get better the longer we give him time. He's just getting influenced by different people.
Yeah,
and whoever's influencing him is how the ship turns in the wind.
Yeah. Just to go back to what Aggie Pagan was saying about the support for Brexit's gone off a cliff. No, it hasn't. I mean, it's 56% of people think it was wrong to leave the EU. That staggers and saddens me on so many levels. It should be 90%. That's margin of error territory in case we had another referendum. 56% of the population. Oh, yeah, that was a bad idea.
I mean, I don't know why y'all just don't referendum again. You're already out.
Well, because the Russians won't let us, and we have to do what the Russians tell us.
They're busy.
To do, obviously.
They're busy over there. Just do whatever y'all want.
Mm.
And especially with all this bullshit with Trump, I would have fucking used Trump as a perfect scapegoat. Like, all right, because of Trump, now we have to go. I would have pissed Trump off, made him mad at us, and then said, EU, come on, let's get back together so we can deal with this Trump guy.
37% of Britain's polled blamed the European Union for Brexit going badly. And you hear them, they'll say, oh, they've treated us very badly, the European Union. You're like, what? What are you even talking about?
Right. Like that's the percentage of people who are wrong.
I know, but that's similar to the percentage of always Trumpers, the people who will follow him off a cliff if he so commands.
But that's what I keep asking you, but we never actually get there. You want their rabid support to do what? What are they supposed to do with this? Like, what is Trump how can Trump utilize their rabid support?
Well, because they won't turn on him.
No, that's not what they're going to do. What can Trump use them for?
Useful idiots. I mean, they won't turn on him. That's what I mean. Like, these are the crazies, These are the
I'm maybe not asking correctly. What good does it serve Trump? I know you keep saying they won't turn on him, but what does that get him by keeping them? You know what I mean? By keeping his base, he gains what? He's not running again. He's already fucking bankrolled himself with everything. But you're like, oh, he doesn't want to piss off his support. He does not fucking care. He's never fucking cared. So like that's what
I never said he doesn't want to care.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that you said that. I'm saying he's never given a shit about his supporters. So you keep saying, oh, they'll never turn on him. He doesn't give a fuck about that. And I'm arguing that they can't do anything to help him. He's already in office. They can't give him money to do a thing. He's already in there. So that's what I'm
the money he needs.
So that's why I'm asking you, why is this support, him having this support structure of people who believe his lies has any bearing on the financial future and the actual policies that are implemented in the country?
Because if his own base turned against him, he'll be fucked and he couldn't do the shit that he wants to do. This all says out in Project 2020.
They don't, it doesn't matter if they don't like it. He doesn't have to listen to them.
No, but if they turned on him and were like, right, this guy's got to go, right? That would be a big problem for him because they are fucking nutters and there's a lot of them. There's millions of them. But like, if they stay, Trump, you're our man still, and he makes their lives progressively more horrible, but blames immigrants and trans women and fucking the man on the moon and the other people that these people blame, then that takes the heat off him. And also, it creates more violence in society and gives him an excuse to go out and say, well, we're going to have the National Guard in every single fucking town and village and hamlet in the land, which is a kind of depressing thought. And I hope that it doesn't come to that. But my point wasn't whether Trump gives a fuck about his support. I don't think he does. I don't think it's about what his support can give him necessarily in terms of monetary satisfaction or even voting, because it doesn't matter anymore. He can't stand again. If he does stand, it will be a fake election.
He won't be on the ballot in he'll be on the ballot in like half the states. So good luck winning when you're not on the ballot. So,
well, we tried that, didn't we? There was a court case. Well, there was a court case up in Colorado, was it, to get him off the ballot because he was a convicted felon?
Yeah, because it violates, election laws to have an insurrectionist on the ballot.
He still was on there, and he still won. Dark 4x4, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Here's my call for support. Brendan Fraser, the whale. It's Pride Month after all. Thanks for it. Thank you very much, Dark 4x4. That's very kind of you. But yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that these people wake up one day.
I
I've spoken
the
to
thing
some of them. I just feel like
I
they're too
think
far gone.
I think you should adjust your lens, right? Like instead of looking at how do I take these deep Trumpers and convince them that Trump is actually a bad guy. I'm not fucking saying that at all. I'm not even interested in talking to them unless I have to. I don't need to because they don't listen to it. Like I could say why things are happening and then they'll just say, well, no, it was because of an immigrant, a trans immigrant, black DEI, whatever. Like they can do that all day, but then they got to go home and there's no food in the kitchen. And then they got to go to work and there's no pay. And then they want to go to the gas station and it costs more. And they can continue this cycle of blaming other people. That's an internal problem that they have to deal with. My thing is, how does that person interact in society? Like, right? Like, I can't, because again, as a black dude in this fucking country, I can't control what's in a white person's head. Some of them are gonna be racist. And I can't just be like, but logically, but like, rationally, you shouldn't. They want to do what they want to do. That's the beauty of this country. Everybody gets to do whatever the fuck they want. However, there are consequences. There are big consequences if you make stupid fucking decisions.
Well, I don't think we're arguing here because I'm not saying that you or I can have any fucking sway on these motherfuckers. I just genuinely feel like no matter what Trump does, they won't blame him. Like they don't blame fucking Nigel Farage.
No one cares. No one gives a shit.
Boris Johnson.
No one gives a shit about what their ignorant opinion is about anything. It is the rest of the countries, all of us empathetic, intelligent, hardworking people to make sure that the country functions. And yeah, we're even going to have to feed the dumbasses in the back of the class who just like to fucking carve swastikas in their desk. Like we have to feed them too. So I get that there's a bunch of crazies out there and they'll never come around. Yeah. They also don't know how to fucking govern. They also have no idea. I mean, like this administration is the perfect example. This is what happens when the dog catches the Ferrari. He just, I don't know, humps it, bites it. He doesn't know what to fucking do.
Well, he's made $3 billion so far this year. So, you know.
Well, he's not going
to do with this Ferrari that he's caught.
He's also a billion years old with a heart condition and and a catheter. So have fun with all your billions.
Well, MAGA ends with him. When he's gone, MAGA's gone. That's something that gives me hope for the future.
And then what are all these people gonna do? You know, I knew that Trump was bad and da 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 da. And that's what. And they will
set up a little shrine, little candles.
Yeah, and they will turn on him just like they turned on just like they loved George W. Bush, and then they hated George W. Bush, and now they're okay with, like, this happens all the time. Just because it's more extreme doesn't mean it's different. America's always had greedy capitalists. It's always had fucking xenophobes. It's always had racists. It's always had misogynists. It's always had all of this. The fact that we hear about it on a more daily basis and we can actually get into the minds of these fucking depraved morons, it's no different. We just know more about it. This is the same country.
I think that the difference is that Trump has a cult, and no president before has had a cult like this. Not to this extent. This is absolute insanity. I mean, they called George W. Bush the accidental president. He wasn't meant to win that election. He was kind of surprised that he did. And the only reason why his popularity went off the fucking charts was because of the September the 11th terrorist attacks. But by the end of his presidency, he was unpopular as fuck, which is pretty normal. But the fact that Trump has lost an election, lost the House, lost the Senate, then mounted an insurrection against the Capitol, stole documents, tried to sell them, did sell them to our enemies. 150 American agents around the world were assassinated off the information that he gave America's enemies. This guy has backed Putin to the hilt. He's backed Putin over his own intelligence agency. And he's got away with it all. He called up the governor of fucking Georgia and demanded another 11,870 votes. He got away with it. He got away with everything. And they voted him back in. And I just can't see there being a point of people going, I'm dying, and it's because I haven't got Medicare, and I'm starving, I haven't got any food. It's all Trump's fault. I think they'll die holding a picture of him and just masturbating or whatever the fuck they do.
I mean, but you've left out a lot of other actors. Like, the Democrats should have prosecuted him. the Democrats should have locked up all of his friends and his cronies for all the illegal shit that they did. But they wanted to say the Democrats should have had the fucking National Guard around the Capitol on January 6th so that none of that shit would have happened in the first place. This is this system of crony capitalism and lobbyists in DC. This is what it breeds. The swamp creature has left the swamp, right? Like he's left the Everglades and now he's crawling across the highway, fucking shit up for everybody. I mean,
he will fuck your shit up.
So there's tons of blame to go around. I warn you and I caution you. If you're going to continually blame people who make $18,000 a year and have never had a single thing go right for them in their entire lives, then you're going to be blamed. Like, those people will always be with us, right? And it's not their fault necessarily that they are in the Trump cult. It is because there has been years and years and years of Democrats and Republicans looking the other way when it came to the poor and the middle class. And that is why these people get radicalized. And that is why these people are uneducated and cannot self-reason and deduce that they're being deceived. It has been
I don't disagree with any of that.
And both sides have been the ones that have been dumbing down the populace and taking away their shit and keeping a little sniff for themselves and just not really doing what's in the best interest of the people. Republican and Democrat alike will atone for the sins of the last few decades. You left the people high and dry for cash, and now the people are dumb and violent. Okay. Now we have to undumb and unviolent them. That's going to be a process. It's not going to be overnight. And like I said, the fastest way is like Mamdani is doing, is where you look at people's actual complaints, what's actually going wrong with them, and you fix it. That's it. Just fix it. They don't even have to. Oh, well, I know I hate Muslims, but it is nice getting to work in 15 minutes as opposed to 45. Like that. I mean, stay mad about it. Like they hated Obamacare, but they love the Affordable Care Act. Like that's just how they do. They can never admit that they're wrong, but they are going to enjoy the benefits to their life. And that's all they're not going to be happy with you. You just have to make their lives better. It sucks. It's politics.
Yeah. Well, we're going to leave it at that because I got to go to bed. I've been up since fucking 3:30 in the morning.
I got to go kiss my wife.
Okay. So I'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for Morning Brew. Thanks to everyone who joined us tonight in the chat on both channels. Thanks to Mikey over in Chicago for chatting to us. Thank you so much for the super chats. Really kind of you. And until next time, give us a like on the way out if you haven't already liked this chat, which you totally should have done. And until next time, I'll say hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye. Bye.
Okay. You binsters. I am going to go kiss my wife. And I'm going to go play with this very stinky baby. Because it is bath night. So it's time to go get all the... I got Belle and... what's her name? Rapunzel. Belle, Rapunzel. I think there's an Ariel. But there's the princesses. Ariel. We're going to have a bubble bath. It's going to be a good time. Jasmine's in the collective. Yes, she is. Thank you guys for the continued support. Me and Timothy will see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central for the headliners. That's right. And I'm going to try to schedule. I got to get on Discord. I got to schedule. I'm going to get Landon on to explain all the Vera Rubin telescope stuff to us. So that'll be fun. So keep an eye on that. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
I did this.